Hi, today we're starting internal forces in frames, and in this lecture and maybe in the next one, I'm going to give introduction about internal forces frames, how they are different in beams, and what to do to draw the normal force diagram, shear force diagram, and then the moment diagrams for frames. And then after that, there will be some examples. So, now we'll talk about the internal forces in frames, some like introduction. To draw internal forces in frames, so this is a frame, has some distributed loads, concentrated loads at the tips and columns, a hinge support, fixed support at one point, roller at the other one, and one link or one intermediate hinge, I'm sorry. So it's not a link because there is a force in the middle of this number, and it's not hinge, it's just intermediate hinge. So to draw the normal force diagrams in frames, we will face two issues. Number one, the frame consists of many members, not only one member like a beam. Okay, and then or like some beams, I mean, like continuous beams are like more than one member. But again, the frame has the columns and beams. So it's not just only, it doesn't only have columns, it doesn't only have beams, it has combination of columns and beams and maybe some links, depending on how difficult it is. The second issue we face is that some members in the frame they don't have free end opposite to the beam. That always has a free end. So to solve the first problem that the frame has more than one member, not one member like a beam or some beams, to solve this problem, we separate the frames. So we're going to separate the frames for the members, or cut the frame and separate it into different parts, like what we do with some difficult beam examples. Okay? And whenever a member is separated from the other member, three forces will show up. Normal force, shear force, and the moment diagram, which they should add up in the all parts to zero. But when you put them together, the forces should disappear. So they are normal shear and bending moment. If there is no intermediate hinge, if there is intermediate hinge, so there are only two forces. There is no moment at the hinge from left to right, so there are only two forces. Normal shear and normal and shear when there is intermediate hinge. And these forces are unknown, whether they are three or two, they are unknown. So you cut through the members, forces will show up, and these forces are not known. To solve the second problem, which is some of the elements do not have a free end, we start calculating whenever there is a frame that has a free end, we start calculating from the free end. Uh, and whenever there is no free end, then we cut through, as we said, some of the forces from the cut side. Okay, so look at this frame, and below we'll see the frame is cut into three members, the top beam and the two columns. So this is the frame, and the frame is cut into three elements, beam on the top and the two columns. And again, the forces in the like here in the column, and the beam is reflected on the column. The forces on the two sides of the beam and the cantilever, they are reflected on the column, so that the summation of the normal force for the three parts is zero, summation form for the three parts is zero, summation of shear for the three parts of zero. So summation of the forces and moments in each direction for the three parts is zero, because when we put it together, the internal forces should disappear. So we separated the frame above, as I showed you, to three elements, beam and two columns. So when you separate it, the forces at the ends will show up at the connection with the two. And you reflect one side to the other side. Reflect the force from one side to the other side. For the beam and cantilever, the lower force, the beam and cantilever, the connection, The lower force should be the summation of the upper two forces. Okay, or the overall summation should be zero for the normal force, for the shear force, for the normal, for x direction, y direction, and z direction, or and moment direction. The forces, when we cut through the elements, the forces are not known. Then when we calculate and draw the internal forces, we have to move a little bit away. We move a bit away from the side where the forces are shown. So calculate from the known forces to the unknown forces. Okay, so when you calculate or consider the calculations for the unknown forces, this will make your solution more difficult. So you start from the known forces, from the reactions and from the loads, exterior loads, external loads, and so on. Or you start from the free end, get the forces as you go, and then go to the other end. Will make things easy. You will face less unknowns, and your solution will be easier. To draw the normal force diagram, how to draw the normal force diagram for the frame element. Okay, if the frame element or the frame or the member, if the member of the frame has a free end, like A, B, C, D, and D, E, that here the columns have free ends. Okay, the beam doesn't have free end, but the columns have free ends, which are the supports. So again, when we consider members by members of the frame, we only consider the forces causing normal force. We're trying to draw the normal force diagram. So you only focus or look at the forces causing normal force in the members. And so if you're talking about the column, only look at the normal forces of the column. If you're talking about the beam, only look at the normal forces causing normal force or normal stress or normal force on the beam or on the column. You start from the free end, and then you determine which forces cause tension and which forces cause compression. We're talking about normal force diagram. So they are either compression or tension. You start from the free end and determine which ones cause tension and compression, and then work as you go, add up the forces as you go, as we've seen in the previous examples. You start to draw the first force you need. So if it is compression, you draw inside the frame and it becomes negative. If it is tension, you draw outside the frame and it becomes positive. So the positive draw, you draw outside the frame, and then the negative draw inside the frame. So inside the loop, inside the frame, inwards you draw the negative ones, outside you draw the positive ones. So the negative is inside and the positive is outside. Okay. I mean, you can do otherwise, but you just have to put the signs on the kit. But it's customary to draw the positive on the outside faces and the negative inside the frame. But again, put the signs so that if somebody else is using different convention, then he will exactly like accurately get the values and the signs you have or you have decided. So again, to make sure that your work is complete and correct and that will be understood by others, make sure that you put the signs on the diagrams. But it's customary to draw the positive or normal force diagram on the outside of the frame and the negative end on the inside portion of the frame. You move with the member, any force you meet in the same direction of the force you added up, and any force you meet when you go up or go along the member, when the force you meet, if it is in the same direction together, if it is negative or opposite direction, then you deduct it. What about if the member does not have a free end? Like the beam. But here, the beam, the member does not have a free end. BD, which is a beam, it does not have a free end. It's a beam. The columns have free end, the supports, but the beam does not have free end. So what about this member or the beam element here? What should we do? We cut the member at the beginning and at the end and focus on the section and which we cut. So you cut the member only once. Okay? So you cut the member only once. So here you cut the beam, you take it out. Okay? And then leave the two columns as parts 2 and 3. So this is part 1. Parts 2 and 3 are the lower ones. We sum up the forces in the HD direction, in the BD direction, in the beam direction. From the cut side, you go with it to the other side. You sum up the forces from the BD direction, which are the here the clouded ones. You sum up the forces from the left. You go from the left to the right. So these are the sum of the forces along the axis of the beam. So these are the normal forces at the beginning. So the sum of the forces on the left, these are which are parallel to the axis of the beam. So these are the beginning tension or compression in the beam. Okay, so this is the beginning tension compression or beginning normal force in the beam. Okay, if they are pushing the beam, going towards the beam, they are compression. If they are going away from the beam, pulling the beam, they are tension. Okay, and then go move with the member, move with the forces, and add up the ones that are additive, positive, and deduct the ones that are negative. So this is how we draw the normal force diagram, and the next lecture will continue of introduction. Thank you. Bye.